What would you recommend if they wanted to proceed with this?
Well, it's actually more difficult than you might think to get these constitutional amendments right. Lots of things have been tried across the country. A concern I have is that a state amendment that simply says private property shall only be taken for public use with just compensation doesn't really go any further than the Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. And we've already seen that that can be interpreted in a way that doesn't protect property owners. So my hope would be that if we do have a constitutional amendment in North Carolina, it will go further than that it would include a definition perhaps of public use that is narrow enough so that transfers from one private owner to another won't be permitted. And failing that, perhaps a list of specific takings that are not going to be accepted as public uses, for instance, in particular, these transfers to private developers for economic development purposes. It would also be nice to have some definition of just compensation to ensure that it's not just the value of the property, but that the owner whose property is taken is made good in terms of things like legal fees, relocation costs, and so on. And one final thing I think would be very desirable would be a specification to the effect that the decision of whether a use is public or private is not something that the legislature can decide for itself. It's a matter for a court of law. One of the things that made that Kelo decision so unpopular was the fact that the Supreme Court not only said that the Fifth Amendment wasn't going to necessarily protect property owners from private transferee takings, it also said that it wasn't going to look into the matter of whether in any specific case there really was a public use. It was going to leave that to the Congress or to the state legislature that passed the law. So that's something I also think we should try to avoid.